Welcome to Beyond the Basics with Harvard Graphics. Harvard Graphics from Software Publishing Corporation has won more awards and been chosen by more corporations than any other graphics package. Why? Because Harvard Graphics meets the graphic needs of you, the business user. Harvard Graphics gives you the power to create professional presentations with software that's easy to learn and easy to use. This video is designed to expand your knowledge of Harvard Graphics as a tool to manage and communicate your data. While we presume that you're already familiar with the basics of charting, even if you're just beginning to use Harvard Graphics, this tape will help familiarize you with some of the techniques available. Our program is arranged in 3 modules, each followed by a summary. Segment 1 focuses on finding the right chart style to communicate your message effectively, and how Harvard Graphics mathematical calculations can help analyze your data. In Segment 2, you'll learn how Harvard Graphics Data Link feature can save you time producing and printing routine reports, compressing dozens of keystrokes into a few simple commands. And in Segment 3, you'll see how Harvard Graphics Slideshow feature can be used as a presentation management tool to preview, edit, and spell check charts. Discover how to use templates to add artwork to screenshows in one quick step. Create a live on-screen presentation with special effects, build charts, and go-to menus. And now, to help us with our presentation, Mr. Ken Wallach.
Hi, I'm Ken Wallach. I'm the PC coordinator here at AdKey Systems. A part of each day I spend helping people out with computer problems. I just got a call from Larry Kramer over there. Let's go see what he needs. Larry, hi. Got a phone message you wanted to see me.
Hi, Ken. How are you? Say, I'm hung up on a couple of charts I need to create for tomorrow's management meeting. Do you have time to give me a hand?
Sure thing. What's the problem?
The problem is I'm not sure which chart to use. I've got all my data loaded in, but I'm having a hard time figuring out which chart style to choose to present it correctly.
Well, let's take a look at what you got so far.
This is my first one, sales figures for the 3rd quarter. I built it as a bar chart, so I guess I'm stuck with that.
Well, first of all, Larry, you're never stuck in one style with Harvard Graphics. It's easy to move your data between different types of charts. I've got some examples. See, you can make pie charts, bar charts, line charts, high-low close charts, and each one of those have variations. Harvard Graphics allows you to change options within each chart type to create different looks, like 3D, stacks, or columns.
Could you give me some suggestions for the one I'm working on now? I'm trying to show how each product is doing in each of our regions.
Sure. There's a couple of things we can try. Let's go back to the data page, then hit F8 to get into the option pages. Page down to page 2, and up here at the top, let's choose Overlap and 3D, and see how that looks by hitting F2. With 3D Overlap, you can compare data across a row, the sales of different products in one territory, or from front to back, in this case, sales of one product in different territories.
It's kind of hard to see the smaller values there behind the larger bars.
Okay. Let's play with the width and depth numbers a little. Back in the options, it helps to know that width is an absolute number from 1 to 100, but depth is a percentage of width. So if the width is 80 and the depth is 5%, you're going to get bars that look like this, wide and thin, which still doesn't solve our problem. So let's change the width to 20 and set the depth to 300%. Press F2 to draw the chart. And there we go.
That's looking a lot better. But you know, I think I'd like to add in totals for each product line. Can you hand me my calculator?
Well, hold it. You don't need the calculator. Let's go back to the data screen. Tab over to the 4th series and hit F4 for calculations. And we're going to call this series total. If you want a list of all the calculations Harvard Graphics performs, hit the F1 help key and they'll be displayed. Now there's 19 different calculations in all, and these 3 help pages tell you about them. To get your totals, we'll use the @sum command. So let's escape from the help page and type in the formula. Hit enter, and you can see the 4th series now contains the figures derived from the calculation. And now F2 to draw the chart. See?
That's good. I like the way the totals stand out from the other bars.
You know, if you want one series of data to really stand out, there's another way to do it. Mix display options. Use bars and lines at the same time. On the first options page, tab down to the type column and change the total series to line. Here it is.
Ken, this is real artsy, but I think we're getting too far away from the sales figures themselves. You know my boss. He's a real bottom line kind of guy. I'm not sure we've got enough numbers in this thing for him.
All right, let's give him a bottom line. We'll add the data table. Go to page 3 of the options, and right up at the top are the data table options. We'll choose frame to make it really stand out. And then let's go back to page 2 and change legend to none. The legend will be automatically added to the data table. F2, and here's the chart.
This looks great. Let me save it.
You know, the real trick to charting is to just keep going through the options till you find the style that fits your message.
Right, I can see that. And here's another one I could use a hand with. It's called market growth, and it's kind of confusing. One market has leveled off and starts to decline, one is growing, and the third is holding steady. I can't tell that from this chart, can you?
Well, not in this format. Let's try making it an area chart. That'll let us see the changes in volume better. And go to the main menu, select Create New Chart, and choose Area. The prompt asks if we want to keep our data, and we do, so hit Enter again. And there's our data now. And here's the new chart. What do you think?
Great. It's a lot clearer now. You can see how the markets are shifting. Ken, I've got one more that I'd like you to take a look at.
Sure, just let me save this one first. What's your other chart called?
Total sales. The problem I'm having here is that overall sales are up, but you really can't tell that from this chart.
Yeah, I see what you mean. There's so much variance in the bars, you can't tell where the whole thing's going, huh?
Yeah. Is there any way to do calculations on this data? Maybe create a trend line?
Well, that's a good idea. We'll go to the chart data page, move the cursor over to series 2, hit F4 for calculations, change the legend to trend, and type in @RLIN to perform a linear regression. Hit enter, and the calculation creates a dynamic trend in the second column. Whenever you change your data in the first column, it'll change automatically in the trend column. Now, let's go to the first option page and change series 2 from bar to trend. And there's the trend line superimposed on the bar chart.
That's a lot better. But look, we've gone this far. Is there any way we could extend that trend, project our monthly sales figures for the rest of the year?
Sure thing. Let's go to the data page and hit F3 to change the X data type. We'll keep the month year, and let's see, you started with October of '86 and ended with May of '89, right?
That's right.
Okay. We'll just extend the date through the end of the year, December 1989, make the increment 1, and enter. Now, if we page down, we can see that after May of '89, there's no data, just the dates. Here's the chart. Like this a little better?
Ken, that looks great. This is going to be really impressive and help everyone to see where we're going. You've been a big help. Are you... Oh, hi, Sue.
Hi, hope I'm not interrupting.
No, we were just finishing up.
Well, actually, I couldn't help it over here. Ken, do you have a couple minutes?
Are you all set here, Larry?
I think so. Are you going to be around the rest of today?
Absolutely.
Good. Thanks, I appreciate your help.
So, Sue, what's up?
Well, I've got this Lotus data. Can you take a look?
I'd be glad to. Excuse me?
Let's leave Ken and Sue for a moment and review what we've learned so far. Choosing the right chart style to fit your data is a very important step in developing a presentation. Using the F8 option pages, Harvard Graphics allows you to easily change between two-dimensional and three-dimensional charts. Vary the width and depth of the 3D bars. Mix display options like lines and bars at the same time. Or create data tables. We saw that moving your data between chart types, between bar charts and area charts, for example, is easy with Harvard Graphics. You can also perform calculations on your chart data using the F4 function key. Now, Let's return to watch Ken and Sue use Harvard Graphics Data Link feature to save time and effort in the creation of routine reports.
So, Sue, what can I do for you?
Well, Ken, every week I've got to import data from 8 different Lotus worksheets to make up 8 different shipment reports for each of our sales regions. Every week I have to do the same imports, enter the same ranges. It gets repetitive, not to mention time-consuming, and I'd like you to tell me if there's some way to automate this thing to speed things up.
Probably. But show me what you do.
Okay, well, I just finished this last one. Take a look.
That looks good.
Sure it does. But here's what I had to do to get it like this. First, I created a new bar chart. Then, instead of typing in the data, I went to Import Data, specified Lotus data, typed in the ranges for my titles, then the ranges for the data. After the import, the chart looked fine, but I wanted to change some of the options. Instead of vertical bars, I wanted them to be horizontal. I made the chart background color blue, left justified the titles, and then used Draw Annotate to add in the truck symbol. Now look, Ken, Harvard Graphics is a real flexible program, and I don't mind doing the import and making the changes. It's just that I have to do it 8 times every week.
Wow, you're right. That is time-consuming.
Yeah.
Is the Lotus data you use from each one of these worksheets in the same format every week?
What do you mean?
Well, are you importing exactly the same rows and columns?
Every week, regular as clockwork.
Good. Then I think there is something we can do. Save the chart as a data link template.
A template? I need charts, not templates. And anyway, the data changes happen in Lotus, Ken. They're 2 separate programs.
Slow down a little bit. Apply a template instead of a chart, because then we can save the data link in the template. Then, when you call the template up, the data link looks at your Lotus information and updates your charts automatically.
This I've got to see.
Okay. Let's turn this chart into a template. And go to the main menu and select Save. Then, select Save as a template. We'll call the template Temp Test.
Okay.
Set clear values to yes. Now that way we'll clear out your old information and be able to automatically bring in new data every time you read the template. Finally, set the Import Data link to Lotus so Harvard Graphics knows where to get the new data, and hit Enter.
What's that warning? We don't want to clear the data, do we?
Oh, no, don't worry. Because we're saving the data link, we need to clear the old values out to get the new data in. The template really doesn't have any data. It has the data link. Now, that's a command to look at your Lotus file. That's where the values come from.
And the chart options? Am I going to have to make the bars horizontal, change the background color?
That's all saved as part of the template.
Okay, well, what's the next step?
All right, well, let's say it's next week, and you want to do the import. On the main menu, select Get. All right, then Get Template. Select the template from the template library, and there's the data page with all the Lotus data that the data link retrieved, and the chart.
But nothing's changed.
Right, because we haven't changed the Lotus data. Let's make a change. On this bottom bar, the value's about what, 1,200?
Yeah.
Okay, let's increase that up to 4,000.
Okay.
But we'll make the changes in Lotus. So, exit Harvard Graphics, and we go into Lotus, and retrieve the worksheet, and let's change the value. 4,000, right? Okay. There we go. Save your Lotus file, then go back to Harvard Graphics. Now call up the template and display the chart. There, see? The layout's the same, but the data's been changed.
That's great. So all I have to do is call up each template once a week and then print them individually, right?
Why print them individually? If you create a slideshow with the templates, you can batch print them all at once.
I didn't know you could batch print templates. But I've still got to update them, right?
Well, the data link does the update for you. All you have to do is enter the print commands for the same screen show you print this week.
But don't I have to update the data first?
Harvard Graphics does that automatically when you ask it to print the show. And when the charts are called up to print, the data link is checked and the data gets changed. And it's all done automatically.
No more typing in ranges? No more fiddling with the chart options and getting the logo?
Nope. Just call up the show and print it.
Oh, why didn't I think of that? Hey, Ken, thanks. You've just saved me a ton of typing each week.
Oh, not me, Sue. Harvard Graphics.
Let's review segment 2. Saving your charts as a template with a Lotus data link can speed up routine reporting. Begin by using the Import Data menu to specify your Lotus 123 worksheet ranges. Details on Lotus imports are available in your user manual. Then, choose your style options and add any drawings or symbols. When your chart is complete, save it as a template with a data link to Lotus. This establishes a dynamic connection to your Lotus 123 worksheet. The next time you want to retrieve your chart, simply call up your data link template and Harvard Graphics will automatically read your Lotus worksheet and build the chart with your latest data. Use the slideshow feature to batch print a series of data link templates. Again, Harvard Graphics will update each chart before printing it. All you have to do is select the print option.
Larry, how's it going?
Hey, Ken, great. Thanks a lot for your help earlier. I'm just about to print everything out so I can check for errors and make sure the presentation's going to flow properly.
Oh, wait a minute. You don't have to print it to check it. You can preview it right on your monitor.
What, call up every chart in the right order?
Look, you're already set up to batch print, so you've got a slideshow list built to send to the printer, right?
Yeah, so?
So, use the slideshow feature to preview your presentation. Call up your slideshow menu, and let's choose number 4, Display Screen Show. That's your title slide, right? Hit Enter again, and then you can see the next chart. Harvard Graphics will go ahead and display all your charts in order for you just by pressing the Enter key.
I never thought of using slideshow for this. I thought it was just for giving on-screen presentations. Now I won't have to print more than once. Great!
Yeah, most people don't realize that Harvard Graphics isn't just for charts. It actually helps you manage your presentation.
Great. Let's see what this looks like. Uh-oh. I meant to change sales to revenues on this chart. Guess I better back out to the main menu, get the chart file, and make the changes.
Larry, hold it. You don't have to go to the main menu. Just press Control-E anytime during the presentation, and you can jump right into the edit mode for the chart you were looking at.
Okay. Let me try that. Control-E, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me make the change. Now what?
Save the changes the way you normally would. Use the main menu, Save Chart, and just go ahead and hit Enter. Here's another tip. When you go back into the screen show, don't go into Display. Go into number 3, Screen Show Effects. You can start anywhere in the show now. Just put your cursor on the first chart you'd like to see, and hit F2.
Uh-oh. Revenous? That wouldn't look good up in front of the executive staff. I hope I didn't make any other typos. Control-E again, right, Ken?
You're really going to like this one. Escape out to the main screen show menu and hit F4. That'll spell check the whole show. There's your mistake. You can either type in the word or choose from one of the suggestions. Then follow the prompts and save the changes. The spell check program will continue until every chart's been checked, and then it will tell you when it's completed. There we go.
Sure enough, it's been updated. Let's keep going through these. Okay, market growth, sales figures. This is out of order. I wanted market growth after sales figures, not before it.
No problem. Back on the effects screen, put the cursor on the chart you want to move. Then hit Control and the up or down arrow. It'll move wherever you want it.
Wow. It's a lot faster to preview and edit on screen. You've sold me. This is a great way to manage a presentation. Can you think of anything else I need to know about?
Well, let's see. Well, let's go back to that bullet chart. You're going to go through these points in order, aren't you?
Right.
Might be more effective to make this a build chart.
You mean have the lines pop on in sequence?
Sure. That way you can focus the audience's attention on one thing at a time. Let me get in here for a minute. All right, we're off to a good start because you've already built the whole slide. Well, that'll be the last one in the series. That's the best way to do it. Start at the end and work backwards. Now, let's hit Control-E so we can edit the chart. We'll take the last line off with Control-Delete. Escape out to the main menu. Save it as Q3B. Then get back into the chart again. Remove the second line, and then save this one as Q3A. Okay, now we'll go down into the slideshow, get into Edit, and add the two new charts to the show. Move the cursor down, hit Enter, change the cursor to the other chart, and hit Enter again.
How do we get them in the right order?
Just like we did on the Screen Show Effects screen. Use the Tab key to get from the top window to the bottom window. Highlight the chart you'd like to move, and then use the Control up or down arrows to move it. Now there's the first one. Now let's go back down and get the second one. Move it up. There we go.
Well, good. Let's take a look at it.
Okay. Let's go back to the Screen Show menu. Get Effects. Highlight chart number 2. And here we go. There's your first line, your second line, and the whole chart. Hit Enter again, and you can get to your market growth slide.
This is starting to look really good. What's next?
Don't you usually put the company logo on the charts?
Yeah, but I should have done that when I first created them. It's too late now. We really don't have time.
Relax, we can do this in just a minute. We'll create a template and add it to the Screen Show. That way the logo will automatically appear on your charts when you preview or print them. On the main menu, select Create New Chart. Let's make it text and freeform. Escape and go into Draw Annotate. There's our new blank chart. And we'll put the logo in the upper left-hand corner. On the Draw Annotate menu, select Symbol, Get Symbol, and here's a list of all the symbol libraries. Now down here at the bottom, we'll call up the company logo. There it is.
Ken, you know, upper management gets pretty sticky about using the logo.
Oh, you mean keeping the proportions correct?
Yeah.
Not to worry. There's a way to guarantee the proportions stay the same. In fact, here's a great trick for moving and sizing symbols at the same time. After we select the logo, you can see the size and position box overlaid on the blank chart. The first thing we do is unanchor the cursor by hitting the backspace key. No more box. And the cursor's freed up. Move the cursor to our first corner, enter that point, and now to keep things in proportion, hold down the Shift key while we draw the box for the logo to fit in. If we release the Shift key, you can see the box get drawn out of proportion. Hit the Shift key again, and we're back. Be sure to keep the Shift key down until you've got your second corner. Enter, and there's your logo.
How do we get it on all the charts?
Well, first, let's save this as a template. So, we'll escape out of Draw Annotate, get back to the main menu, go down to Save, and save this as a template. Let's call it Logo Temp. Enter to save. Now, ignore this warning. Since this is a template, there really aren't any values to be cleared on it. Now, back to the main menu, down to Screen Show, enter, select Edit Screen Show, then go down to the bottom of the menu to find the template. Enter to add it to the show, and then hit the Tab key to move the cursor to the bottom screen. Use the Control Up arrow to move the template up in front of your bullet charts. Now it'll be added automatically to every chart that follows. Let's see. Go back to the main Screen Show menu, select Screen Show Effects, move the cursor to your title slide, hit F2, and see, there's your title slide, no logo. Hit the Enter key and watch the template add the logo to the bullet charts and the rest of your show as well.
That's fantastic. But what happens if I need to get rid of it for some reason? How do I suppress it?
If you want to stop the template, create a blank template and insert it wherever you want the logo template to stop.
That makes sense. Well, I better get busy with what I'm going to say tomorrow. Right now, the charts are in better shape than I am.
Are you going to be working off notes?
Sure. I was going to make those up in my word processor.
You know, you can make speaker notes with Harvard Graphics. Let's get back to the slideshow menu. and go down to Make Practice Cards. See this form? Here's the line that indicates which chart you're working on. This is your title, so you can type in any of your opening remarks down here. Now use F10 to change. Here's the second chart, which is actually a template. You don't need any notes for that, so hit F10 again. And here's your first bullet chart. After you've got your remarks typed in, escape to the main menu, choose Produce Output, and arrow down to Print Practice Cards. When you print them, you not only get the notes, you get a copy of the chart on the same page. That way, you don't have to keep going through your overheads when you're practicing.
Seems like this would be a big help with handouts, too.
Sure thing. You can make extra copies of your practice cards and use those, but they'll have your notes on them. If you want to print just the charts without the notes, escape to the Print menu and select Print Slideshow. Now, go down to the Select Chart Size line, and you can get 1, 2, or 3 charts on a single page.
Ken, you've been an enormous help. I can't see any way to polish this up anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and print it.
Larry, I was thinking, tomorrow's meeting is in the main conference room, isn't it?
That's right.
Okay, that large screen monitor is still in there. How about a live show?
I'm doing overheads. Isn't that live enough?
No, don't get me wrong, Larry. Overheads look great, but no effects.
Effects? Special effects? Hey, wait a minute. I'm not George Lucas.
You don't have to be. Let's try adding some effects to the show you've already made. We do this back on the Screen Show Effects screen. Put the cursor in the Draw column for the title slide and hit F6 to pop up the Effects menu. Let's try a fade for this one. Now we'll move past the template to the first bullet chart. Hit F6 again, and let's make this one a scroll. Now scrolls need a direction, so we'll move the cursor over to the Direction column, hit F6, and select Up. Now this chart's the first one of our build charts, right? So just type a W for wipe and hit Enter. Harvard Graphics knows what you mean. Type R for write, Enter, and do the same thing for the final bullet.
What about the other choices, time and erase?
Those affect the amount of time the slides are on the screen and how they get removed. Now we're fine for right now. You can play with those later. In fact, since you want control of the show, you don't want to specify a time. You can change slides whenever you're ready. You want to take a look at what we got?
Sure thing.
Okay. Move the cursor to the first slide line, hit F2 to view, and when you want to change, hit Enter.
That's a fade, right?
Enter again, and here comes the scroll.
That's nice. I like that.
Enter again, and the first bullet line wipes on. And enter for your third bullet wipe. Keep on hitting Enter, and you move through the rest of your presentation.
That's great, Ken. It's got a lot more life to it than an overhead projection show, but it kind of locks me into using every chart in the exact order I list them, doesn't it?
What do you mean?
Well, take this chart, number 10, for instance. It's kind of a backup chart. I wasn't going to show it unless I had to.
You mean if somebody asks you an embarrassing question about number 9?
That's right. It seems like I've got to use it now because it's in the show list.
No, you can skip over it, just like you do with overheads, by creating go-to commands.
Okay, show me.
Okay? Now the chart you're worried about is number 10, right? So let's put the cursor anywhere in the chart 9 column, the one just before it. Then hit F8, and there's the go-to menu. The key side of the menu lets you name the keystroke you'll use to go to chart 10. So in the key column, let's type A. And over in the go-to column, let's type 10. Next, we want the option of being able to skip to chart 11. Now we'll leave the key column blank, and we'll type 11 in the go-to column. That way, any key you hit sends you to chart 11. Remember, if you need the backup slide, hit A. If you want to skip over it, hit any key. Now press F10, and we're back in the Effects menu. Let's start at slide number 8, and advance to slide number 9. Now here's where you make your choice. If you want to go on to number 10, hit A. And there it is. Now use the backspace key to get back to chart number 9. And this time, we'll press any key other than A, and Harvard Graphics jumps directly to chart 11.
That's a great feature. I didn't know Harvard Graphics was interactive.
You bet. Larry, I think you're all set. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, Ken. I appreciate your help.
That completes segment 3 of our program. In this segment, we learned how Harvard Graphics Screen Show feature can be used as a tool to manage your presentations, how to use Control-E to edit charts while in the Screen Show mode, how to use the F4 spell check feature, and how to start a preview in the middle of a show using the effects screen. To reorder charts, use the Control key and the up or down arrows. Create build charts to help focus your viewers' attention on specific points. When adding artwork, remember to use the Shift key while sizing and positioning to maintain proportions. To add artwork to multiple charts, create a template and position it in front of your charts in the Screen Show. For on-screen presentations, use Screen Show effects like fades, scrolls, and wipes to enhance your slideshow. While Go-To commands give you the flexibility to skip slides at will. Speaker notes, complete with charts, can be created with Harvard Graphics. And you can print handouts with as many as 3 charts per page. We hope you've enjoyed this program and hope that we've been able to answer some of the questions you might have had about the scope of features available from Software Publishing Corporation's Harvard Graphics. Software Publishing also offers 5 high-powered accessories for use with Harvard Graphics. Business Symbols contains 300 new symbols to enhance your charts and graphs. Quick Charts automates your chart and graph design with a collection of the 125 most commonly used business charts. US Map Maker is a powerful map generator for creating custom, color-coded maps. Screen Show Utilities contains 3 utility programs for enhancing your on-screen presentations. And finally, Designer Galleries includes 90 chart templates and 12 color palettes for more sophisticated 35mm slide and on-screen presentations. The Harvard Graphics accessories range from $99 to $149 suggested retail price and are available from your local dealer.